Hey everyone, today we're diving into a technique that a lot of you have been asking about, stippling shading. I'm going to show you how I use this grainy, textured style to create this realistic mouth on fake skin. We'll talk about hand speed, voltage, and how to layer those tiny dots to get that perfect 3D depth. If you're into textured realism, this one's for you. Let's break it down.
Nobody believes in you. You lost again and again and again. The lights are cut off, but you're still looking at your dream, reviewing it every day and saying to yourself, it's not over until I win.
I've put the design right here for you. Go ahead, take a screenshot, give it a try on your fake skin. Practice is key. If you do it, tag me or let me know in the comments how it turned out. Now, let's mix the gray wash. 3 cups. First cup, 1 drop of ink. Second cup, 2 drops. Third cup, full ink. Fill the first 2 with shading solution, then hit them with the mixer for 2 or 3 minutes. Alright, let's go over the machine setup. This is key to getting those clean textures. First, the power. I'm running at 5.6 volts, but keep in mind, this really depends on your machine and your hand speed. For the stroke, I'm using a standard 3.5mm, which is what most machines have. As for the needle, I've got a 3RL with about a 2.5mm hang. This setup is perfect for grabbing those individual stippling dots without overworking the fake skin and real skin. I'm starting with a round magnum for the background. We need that solid black to be perfect. I chose the RM because it allows me to clean up the edges of the design with much better control. This creates that sharp contrast that makes the whole piece pop. Take your time here. The darker the background, the more the details will stand out. Let's start with the stippling shading techniques. Here's a secret to perfect stippling. It's all in the angle. Notice I'm keeping my needle almost at 90 degrees. If you tilt too much, you lose that crisp dot and get a blurry line. Combine this with a light pendulum motion. Just let the tip of the needle graze the skin. Don't push. Guys, making these tutorials takes a lot of my time, so please hit that like and hype button right now before you forget. It really keeps me going. Now, stick around because I'm about to show you even more important techniques that you don't want to miss. Now let's talk about the technique behind this. This is called pendulum motion, or what many know as whip shading. To get that perfect gradient on the cheek and near the finger, you have to imagine your needle is like an airplane. You touch down softly, graze the skin, and take off. This pendulum movement is the secret to high-level realism because it prevents any harsh edges or solid lines. But keep in mind, this entire piece is built using nothing but stippling. Every single shadow you see is created by thousands of tiny individual dots layered with patience to create that beautiful grainy texture. Master the landing and you'll master the art. But wait, the most satisfying part is coming up next. Stay right there because you won't believe how these dots transform once I clean the excess ink for the big reveal. Now, let's focus on the chin and the area under the lip. This is all about creating anatomy and volume. To make it look 3D, you have to break away from straight lines. I'm using a curved pendulum motion. It's a stippling technique where your hand moves in a half-circle pattern. This mimics the natural roundness of the face. Here's a pro tip. Look at your reference design every few seconds. Realism isn't just about technique, it's about observation. Notice where the darkest shadows meet the softest gradients. If you go too dark too fast, you lose that 3D form. Keep your wrist loose and let the machine bounce softly off the skin. You're not just tattooing, you're sculpting with dots. Every angle and every point of pressure determines if the chin looks flat or pops out of the skin. Take your time, master the curve, and watch the form come to life. Got questions? Drop them in the comments and I'll answer. Also, a quick comment really supports the channel. Now, let's dive into the most requested part, the lips. Let's go.
we're tackling the lower lip, and this is all about contrast and texture. To create those realistic lip wrinkles, you need to use a very controlled stippling. The secret, it's not about drawing lines, it's about building shadows around the highlights. A common mistake here is going too dark too fast. If you lose those bright halos or highlights on the lip, you lose the 3D wet look. Technique tip: use a lighter pressure for the soft gradients and increase dot density only in the deepest cracks of the lip. Keep your needle angle consistent to avoid skin trauma. Always leave some negative space. That's what makes the lip look shiny and alive. Watch your reference closely. And remember, you can always add more ink, but you can't take it away. Let's build it layer by layer. Now we're diving into the darkest part, the inside of the mouth. This is where you create true depth. To make the teeth pop, you need a high-density stippling right next to them. Technique: I'm tightening my stippling pattern here. Instead of long swings, I'm using small, concentrated movements to build a solid dark value. But be careful, when you get close to the inner cheek, you need to transition back to a soft gradient to show the curve of the mouth. The key? Contrast is everything. If the inside of the mouth isn't dark enough, the teeth will look flat. Watch the angles near the teeth. Keep them sharp and clean. This separation is what gives the piece that 3D wow factor. Stay focused, because one wrong move here can muddy the whole design. Guys, quick reminder, hit that like button right now before you forget. Now for the upper lip. I'm using short, half-circle stippling to follow the natural curve. The secret here is highlighting the volume through contrast, not lines. Watch your angles. Keep the pressure light on the Cupid's bow to make it pop, and use tiny pendulum motions for those realistic wrinkles.
Now, for the area under the lip, precision is everything. Pro tip: lower your voltage here. Since the space is tight, a lower voltage gives you maximum control over every single dot. Watch your angles carefully. The lip is stretched, so you must follow that exact curve with your highlights and wrinkles. If your angles are off, the lip will look flat. Keep your stippling rhythmic and perfectly aligned with the lip's anatomy to maintain that 3D depth.
I'm sure you've mastered the basics by now, but wait, don't scroll away. Since you've stayed with me this far, here's a gift for your support. I'm using all wormhole tattoo equipment for this piece. Check the link in the comments and use my code BENTATTOO for a special discount. Now I'm gonna speed things up a bit so we can jump straight to the most important part, the shading technique for the teeth. This is where the true realism comes to life. Let's go. Now, for the most critical part, the teeth. Low voltage and fast hand movement are your best friends here. We're using a very light whip shading stippling technique. The key: don't shade the whole tooth. Start from the gums with a bit more saturation and fade out. The tips of the teeth must stay white to keep that 3D pop. We're not shading here, we're shaping. Look at the angles. Never make the edges perfectly straight or they'll look like chiclets. Give them slight natural curves near the gums and sides to show anatomy. Keep it subtle, keep it clean, and let the negative space do the work for you. One heavy hand here and the realism is gone. Stay light.
If this tutorial helped you, smash that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe to support. It means the world to me. Now, go check out my other step-by-step realism tutorials to master your craft. Stay focused, and I'll see you in the next one. Good luck!